This is, there again, just reiterating how exciting this is, to be able to play these type of games, these big-time games, environment, division game on the road at a place that's, it's one of those things that God created, man. It's where football began a little bit, those type of things. So anyway, we're looking forward to this. We'll be in the elements, which is great. This is like one of those you hope for this, and I think we'll be all white, so we'll have the grass stains and everything rolling, man. It's going to be good old football, the way it's meant to be played. So excited, great opponent, but our guys are fired up, man. They're looking forward to this. Oh, man. I love the good throwback games. It's good to get one every once in a while.
Whether is or can be a factor, is that just in your experience, does it help offense, defense? Where does it short?
Well, I think everywhere, right? I mean, I think it evens the playing ground across the board, really. It can neutralize rushers, it can neutralize speed, change the direction. But at the end of the day, here's what you do know. Whoever can get their feet in the ground and don't slip, those are going to be your best players on Sunday in the element. So, and we have some of those guys. A lot of them. So we're looking forward to it. Look, they play on that grass. They understand what it is, and it won't be new to them either. And they've got plenty of good players. So I just think it's great, man. It's a throwback to football, and it's good, man.
How important is it to your roster, I guess, to just prove themselves in that environment? We've talked about it. I think 14 dome games this year. So is there a validation that's needed for those guys?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think we're very comfortable playing in whatever the elements are, honestly. Our quarterbacks played pretty good. I feel like we've taken care of the football, although that's always going to be an emphasis, man. Wet ball, those things are going to come up because it's going to be a little more slick. And then focusing on catching the football, we'll have the high winds with the water. And so all of those become a factor. But the great news is both teams play with it. You're both on the same area under the same conditions, and so we'll be fine. But no, I don't feel like we need to prove something with it. I think we're prepared. We're going to be prepared for it.
It's always a big topic when teams play there. Is there anything about that field specifically compared to other outdoor fields that make that more of an emphasis?
Well, no, I think it's the nature of the grass, and then being up north, and we're turning into fall. It's getting close to winter. The sun's going down. It's, just things are different. I'm not, we could go into horticulture if and so I just think, and then you add a little bit of rain. It's just different than it is in the South, right? And like, I know we have a number of young guys that, they've been playing on that, that Bermuda, man, and it's getting full sun and warm and everything's great. And, you can go out there barefooted and you'll stick. Whereas it's just not that way. Now, it's not like this isn't a good turf. I mean, they've done a good job and it'll be good. It's just, you have to be aware of it. You got to wear the right cleats. And as long as you do, you'll be fine.
Josh Pascal hasn't practiced this week. I don't know what the expectation is today, but if he's held out today and this weekend's game, what's the long-term prognosis here? Is there any concern that extends beyond this?
No, there's not. He'll be out. All right, he and Malcolm will both be out. But no, nothing long-term, which is great news, and we're hopeful we'll get him back next week.
Just when Jaden Reed was coming out of the draft a couple years ago, did you scout him at all? Like, what do you remember about him as a player and what you liked about him?
Oh yeah, really liked that player a lot. Really did, man. Thought very highly of him. Brad and I both were high on him. Well, I think the vision was what you see right now with the way he's playing. I mean, here's what you knew: he was competitive, he was explosive. Had speed, he had catch radius for a guy who's not, 6'5", but he can track it, he can locate it, sticky hands, feisty blocker, competitive. Man, he'll get after you in the run game, and he's very smart player. Felt like a guy who, man, this guy he'll be able to play any of these positions, physically but mentally as well. And then certainly the return ability, knowing that he'd be able to return punts. So Yeah, and he's doing well. He's coming into his own, and he continues to get better. And he's, to me, he's a force. And we're going to have to, we're going to have to be ready for him, as well as those other receivers. But yeah, we liked him a lot.
You mentioned the other day just about this being the type of game that comes down to one mistake. How do you, what's the message to your team about that in terms of like not being too tight, making sure we don't make that one, making sure we create the one?
Yeah, I think just there again, focusing on the details of everything and just living in the moment of the play, and you go back and you've got this, we've got these game plans and they're loaded front to back, offense, defense, AG's got his menu, the players got, and understand you can only call one of those per play. And there may be a couple of wrinkles to that one, a couple of adjustments, but the point is you can't call every one of those in one play. So focus on that detail, understand what you could get, know the situation, and play at the best of your ability. And then keep your composure, man. This is another one of those games, you look at the last few opponents they've played, and they haven't kept their composure. They haven't been able to do that, and Green Bay's been able to just wear them down and cause them to, to make errors, to have errors. And we can't do that. We got to stay locked in and just relax. And look, we know it's not going to be perfect. We don't expect it to be a perfect game, but it's also, you don't know when the critical error could happen. And it could be 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and that could be the one. And most of the time, all you see is what's at the end of the game. It's the most magnified, but how you know it's not the one early? 5 minutes left, and if you just do what you're asked to do one more time, the hard, boring details of the play, then it's the difference in the game. So our guys have done a great job with that. They understand it, and I feel like we play pretty good football when the pressure's on.
Project Martin. You started Project Martin's clock this week. How quickly do you think he can get up to speed?
It's hard to say. I mean, it was good to see him out there. He looks like he's fresh. He certainly has fresh legs. So really that's really the best I can give you, Jeremy. I mean, it's good to get him out there. It's good to continue the development of him, to be able to go against our 1-0 line. He's out there going against those guys. And then it's just a matter of, man, do we feel like after this 3 weeks he can help us? Do we feel like he can really help us? Is he healthy enough to help? How is he relative to the rest of the guys on the roster or even practice squad? That's what it'll be.
You mentioned just how big a game this is and how much fun it is. Does this still feel new at all to you and the team, or it's just sort of baked into the culture? This is what it means to play for this organization right now.
I think this is where we're at now, as far as the, I guess how we handle these games would be the right way to say it. But as far as the excitement of preparing for these, no. I mean, this never gets old. Like this is the good stuff, man, and this is the good stuff. And like I say, we got two really good teams, man, fighting for the division, and it's on the road, and it just everything about it is it's the ultimate competition, And the only thing better is when you start hitting the playoffs. But these type of games are what it's about. So I think our guys really enjoy it, and look forward to it. I know the staff does too. It's always a good change. It's just you, right? And as of late, it's been our fans too. So that's nice. But it is a little bit of that. It's good to go out and I know this, man. Every winning team I've been a part of, player or coach, if you can win consecutive games at consecutive times in a season, and you can win on the road, you're a pretty good team. So, we've been able to do that, and there's nothing easy about it, and it takes everybody. And I just think there's something special about you're in an offensive huddle and you can't hear yourself think, and you look at the guy next to you and you just crack a smile because it's like it's just you, and it's awesome. All right.